All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. A tech focus on this one, looking at SoFi as you see on the screen, Intel right after, and then MVIS. Man, I have not talked about that one in a while, but all three of these are actually setting up very, very well. All right, so with SoFi, I hope you see it before I say it. All right, we were trying. It seems like we might have now broken all five and are getting ready to fly. Things are looking real nice down here. This is on the interesting side. And when you look at the weekly, look at this thing. This stock has not been alive for 200 weeks. When I click into the last one, excuse me, there it is. There is no 200, right? So we are overall on the weekly. We're overall on the daily. Oh, that's a beautiful mix. Intel, I always forget the ticker. INTC, there we go. Intel, oh man, Intel kept pushing after hours. Oh, I saw like a 5% pop. It is definitely a little closer to 10% right now. There was a big headline. I saw Linda just put it here. Yeah, so look, Intel and Amazon announced a multi-billion-dollar partnership. I mean, that's huge, right? And it includes the word AI chip in it on top of that, right? So, lovely, lovely headline when you're including the hottest thing in the market with AI, the biggest company arguably with Amazon, and then that's a good thing for Intel, right? So it's kind of coming down just a little bit, but yeah, that's a nice thing. And I literally just ended with it actually right before like Intel, for real, I had $16 fears and I will show them to you. I think I had a line down here. Obviously, maybe it's a little easier to see on the weekly. I know I was talking about Intel with someone, and to go from $16 fears to gap fill thoughts is a beautiful turnaround, all right? And then the last one is Mavis. All right. Mavis has been struggling with, but maybe now has broken that 50 moving average. All right. We still got this 100 moving average to worry about, and we're basically right there, right? But I like this candle. I like the lower indicators. Let's see if Mavis can do a little more. All right. So, very excited for these three. I think all three are actually setting up very well. But before we do go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our five moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here, giving me your time, oh, I'm so grateful for it. All right, so let me put this to regular hours. We always look at regular hours. My, what a turnaround for SoFi. I'm just going to zoom out very quickly. The year started relatively optimistically. We actually saw a gap up on that first earnings of the year, and lo and behold, we go from the nines to the sixes, right? That's a 33+% loss for essentially most of 2024. This was a very, very rough year for SoFi, and a lot of the sad part was QQQ did well all year, right? Most of the year, whatever you want to call it. S&P 500 did well most of the year, right? I mean, it's annoying to say the least when the indices do well, but all of a sudden your individual stock doesn't, right? Things are starting to get a little more interesting, all right? Around this July doji is when I started to believe that the 50 moving average was going to break. It wasn't the smoothest of breaks, and obviously there was a little bit of a scary August to say the least, right? But yeah, this thing actually started to do pretty well. And again, don't forget, that scary August was far less about SoFi and more just following the indices, right? That same drop there. Let's just look at NASDAQ since I'm looking at, again, QQQ and NASDAQ are identical. You can see it right there. And then just to emphasize the point, exact same thing right there, right? So, SoFi, this was the moment I thought the 50 was becoming our friend. You can't always beat the indices, but lo and behold, that 50 moving average was actually our friend, right? We started going up. We are now at a place where Friday, and look at the Friday. You know, if you watch my videos, I always call Friday a loser day. I am ready to see a red candle. I'm ready to see people kind of ignore the day, get ready for Monday. No, no, no. SoFi on Friday, look at the third line. The third line says that the hot Oh, excuse me, a little hiccup. The high of the day was $7.74. That was also the close of the day. Literally, the entire Friday, people were buying and buying and buying and buying. And then the market said, hey, go away, go home, come back on Monday if you want to keep buying. And they did, right? I'm not going to use the word destroy where it wasn't the biggest of candles, but yeah, we gap over the resistance line, right? You can see that the open was above the line, and then we just go, and yeah, after hours it's not significant, but yeah, it's continuing up, right? So I like it. I like it a lot. We are over all 5 moving averages. We have a positive MACD with green over red. We have a heavily healthy 56, right? Going from 56 to 80, there's a lot of room, all right? And I think my favorite part, and I zoomed out for a reason, we haven't had a big break of the 50-day volume line in a while. All right. Now, we've been a lot more consistent these last 4 days, and I think that's really helping us, like with this cluster right here, right? But oh man, if we can get a candle like this, if we can get like 2 candles like this, if we can get one of those bigger silly ones that I zoomed out to, right, that can do some big things. But I think at the minimum, let's just not get overly excited. Let's just see if it can do the job. And look, break all 5 and fly is a big job to do. And like I said, that's a nice Friday. That looks like a confirmation to me. All right. The one thing, oh, wait, no, it did. Oh, interesting. So look, this candle right here closed at 8:03. We closed at 8:06 on regular hours. We are actually big over the biggest candle to the left. I like that. I like that. I like that. Look at this channel, right? Man, I can just keep. Oh my gosh, look at this channel, right? So we're in between these 2 lines. Green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, red, red. Literally the whole way through. It's a long one, and I'm not going to say green, 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 red, 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 but from June 2023 all the way to March 2024, it's basically green, 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 red, red, red in this channel, and then one more time in the channel above, right? I think it's very aggressive to think above a 930 for now, all right? But yeah, I think there's a real reason to put maybe a 9-ish target on. I think I would put this as my first target. I think 877. I think between 850 and 875, just kind of using simple round numbers, right? I think I would put my first target there. I actually really like this 850 line, right? It's half of this candle. It's almost the top of a few of these. I think that's going to be a good 850. Again, I started the video with it. I'm going to say it again. There is no 200 moving average right now. So all 4 are all moving averages, right? And we've been trying, and we finally, I mean, that's a good candle, and it's still early. But if last week was going to basically, right, it broke all 4 moving averages last week. I need a good confirmation. I need Friday to close at least here. 824, 825. If we can get 825 close on Friday, I think that's really going to emphasize that 930 that this weekly is showing. Look, again, MACD is finally positive here on the weekly. We are seeing the same green over red on the MACD and the RSI, right? Again, we still haven't had a big volume in weeks, right? So, oh man, all this thing is missing is volume, but I am loving everything else, all right? Overall, the moving averages on the daily, overall, the moving averages on the weekly is a very good thing, all right? The one thing I'm not 100% sure on, and please let me know what your thoughts are, because really right here, nothing more than my opinion. I don't have a lot of facts behind it, all right? We are, I mean, I'm gonna say 99.9% confident that Powell is gonna lower the rates in, I think, 2 days now, right? I don't know exactly. I think it's on Wednesday if I'm not mistaken. From there's a lot of people that think There's going to be at least one more cut, maybe even two more cuts for the remaining of the year. There are two more calls left after this one this week, right, where Powell does his thing. So, in a lot of ways, rate cuts aren't the best thing for SoFi because all of a sudden they're giving lower loans than they were previously, right? The higher the rates are, the more money SoFi is making on the loans. On the flip side, as loans get lower, I'm sorry, as rates get lowered, maybe you will start seeing more loans taken, right? I often say it on the Discord. I've been waiting for the rates to get better so I can make a significant loan. Right? Like, I have some construction I really wanted to do. The price for construction went insane the last couple years, right? I would even say the last 2 years, let alone since COVID, right? But um, I've been looking for things to improve. Maybe others have as well. And hey, though SoFi won't make more per loan, maybe that volume of total loans is high enough and kind of compensates. You get what I'm trying to say, right? So the loan rates is a very, very important piece of SoFi, right? The other half, which again, it's one of those things where it's sad for the people, but it's good for the company, right? The fact that student loan forgiveness seemingly is not happening is good for SoFi, right? I don't know the numbers, but I'm sure SoFi has some student loans on its books, and erasing the money that was supposed to come in from that, ooh, the market would not have loved that. You know what I mean? So I think the fact that that's on pause should be good for SoFi. I know there's a lot of battles with it. I know there are a lot of personal opinions with it. We're never here to talk about our personal opinions. We're here to talk about the market and how to win this unbeatable beast, right? So, couple outside factors to just think about, but I'll tell you, I'm loving the technicals on SoFi, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. INTC, is that what it is? Intel Corp. Oh man, where is this thing after hours right now? I generally don't focus much on after hours, but I think this is one that's just a little bit hard to ignore. But as I always do, I'm going to stress it. Regular hours matter way, way more. Okay, so Intel, before I do my normal thing, let's come here. Oh, right here. So this just happened. Looks like it just dropped a little bit after hours. So there was an announcement for a multi-billion-dollar partnership. I'll be real honest with you. I have no idea who or what this is. It looks like it's some sort of bot. Hopefully we are seeing this same what was I going to say? I'm sorry, I'm reading these. I'm getting a little distracted. Hopefully, we're seeing these same headlines come from Bloomberg, come from Yahoo Finance, come from just other bigger important names, right? So got to love that partnership headline. All right, real quick, please, if you can subscribe, if you can share this video, it does wonders with the algorithms. All right, so let me come to the weekly before I come to the daily. All right, let me zoom out. Let me zoom out to here. I have no lines here, but let me just draw something real quick, okay? So there's definitely a thick horizontal right here. Lo and behold, that's basically where we were. And then the next good cluster is down there. Oh, 14, get out of here. Maybe I drew it right here. I did. That was the 16. I'm telling you, and I can't stress this, all right? Intel, it wasn't that long ago. I was talking about $16 with someone. And then lo and behold, the gap fill thoughts come to mind. And I will tell you, I don't think the pop after hours really happened that hard. Whatever, nonetheless, you can see it's already starting to fill, and that's actually the gap I'm talking about. All right, so I really, really want to talk about the past a little bit before I talk about what I think is going to happen tomorrow onward. One thing I always say, and it's one I literally just said in the last one. I don't know if you fast forward to this or not, but look, you either break all five moving averages and you fly, 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 or you lose all five moving averages and you die, die, die. All right. Simple example on Intel right there in April. You lose all five lines. That was a hard drop. Don't get me wrong, but this thing fell 50% from 40s to 20s, right? Again, you try to recover. No. You lose all five and you fall, right? Like and again, you could see the flip side, right? You could break off 5 and you fly. You could break off 5 and you fly even more. And again, blah, blah, blah. Continue and continue and continue, right? We were looking at what was just a horribleness of being under all 5 moving averages. All right. The thing is, I say it on the way up and I say it on the way down. You need confirmation. We're not here to get excited or scared over a single candle. All right. This was a big, bad, scary candle. This closed under all 5, right? You can see 4 right here. The 5th one's not even on the screen, right? That doesn't confirm, and none of them behind it do. That's a scary candle. That's not a pretty gap down candle either. But hey, that's a doji. That's not a confirmation. And yeah, all 3 of the candles after were red, but none of these are confirmation, right? So the fact that it did come back up in a lot of ways is one, the technical strength of 2 lines. When you have 2 lines together, it's hard to break up and it's hard to lose down. You know what I mean? The second thing is just the resistance. Obviously, you just saw me draw the line, and I had to be on the weekly. And it seems like hindsight's 2020, right? But I mean, this is literally 1997, right? Like these are all the years. From 1997 to 1999, we were horizontal at that 19 point, right? So that's for sure a good. Dude, look at all those forward splits, lovely. That's for sure a support right there, right? So I know it looks like hindsight 2020, but no, that's definitely a 3-year support right there, okay? So it's a good showing of 2 moving averages and a good showing of what a support can do, okay? I was looking at this, and I'll be honest with you, I missed this pop right now. I did. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to get in and follow, right? I saw this right here on Intel and the inability to follow through. And there's one thing I say all the time. It's just, I'm here to assume the same until a stock tells me otherwise. This pop and drop was too much for me to believe that we were going to continue here. Because just look at it, right? We had green over red. We had green over red. We had good volume. We have green over red, good volume. This was actually better volume, right? So this is a little bit more positive than this right here. But again, like to me, this was just, it wasn't enough for me to buy here. Now my interest is peaking, right? I'm not sad I missed the pop. My interest is peaking. You know what I mean? And right now, there's a couple things on my mind right now, right? I think I will draw some lines. Okay, so this right here, it doesn't even matter where I draw it. That 30 line is an important line right there, and it's something in between the 100 and the 200. So I think that's an important line to draw right now. I need us to get over this, right? Basically the highest candle in this area, and basically where the gap started, right? If we can get over 2203, I think there's a real good reason to believe it's going to run to 25. If we can get over 25, there's a real good reason to believe we'll get to basically 28. You can see it's 2790 something, right? Excuse me. As I zoom out, sorry, I'm looking at the lines. Okay, so here's my first impression, all right? We basically have been under the 50 and the 100, the red line and the green line that we're trying to target for pretty much all of the year. We lose it, roughly speaking. We lose the 50 at least in early January. Early January. We lose the 100 around April, and then we've been under both since April, right? Those are not going to be easy lines to get, but I think given how low the RSI is and given the Amazon headline and connection, I think we got a shot at least 25. 25 will not be easy, but we did actually break it in July, it being the 50 moving average, right? I'm assuming that was like earnings or something. I have no idea, right? But I think there's a chance. I think there is a real chance at 28. Don't underestimate the resistance at 25. But yeah, that's a gap right there, right? So, yeah, and then look, if we lose, I'm going to lower, no, I can't. I think that's our death line. I mean, our death line is 19. If we lose 19, it's going to be a quick ride to 16. But like I said, I don't know how much I'm thinking about 16 anymore. I'm just hoping I see some other headlines, some other publications copy that Amazon headline. All right. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. I can't believe we're at 20 minutes. I went a little long on both of them, but I want to talk about MVIS. It's been so long since I've talked about MVIS, but there's some interesting things happening here, all right? And basically, it's this battle with the 50 moving average, all right? I'm obviously going to talk about the blue line that's just above us at the 100, but yeah, it's really been about the 50 for a bit, all right? And I'm liking a lot how today closed, okay? Real quick, please, if you can subscribe, if you can share this video, it does wonders with the algorithms, all right? So I'm zooming out, I'm zooming out, I'm zooming out. We are basically looking at the entire year from January through today. We have been struggling with this red line to say the least, all right? We basically, the last good candle, I mean, I guess you can say it was this one, right? But we lose it in very early January, and then I mean all we basically do is fight and fight and fight to try to get over it. That was a decent candle right there. Doji don't count. I would also call that a doji right there. Lo and behold, it ends up coming back down, right? We just tried. That's a decent candle right there for sure. But yeah, no confirmation and right back down. Here we are again, right? So this is all about the 50, but I think I like what today did. All right. This candle right here closed at 108. You can see it's that green line in the box right there on the top. That's exactly where we closed today. I would have loved to close just a penny higher. You hear me say often, close over the biggest candle to the left. I'm kind of okay with at it right now, mainly because, again, look in the box over there, the third line. The high of the day was $1.08. That's exactly where we closed today, right? People were buying and buying and buying and buying and buying, and the market said, hey, get out of here. Come back tomorrow if you want. And the amount of buying actually did get over our white line, our 50-day average, right? So I like that. MACD is positive. You can barely see it, but I for sure see it. We have green over red on both. And hey, a 61 is a very healthy RSI if this thing wants to go up. It wasn't even that long ago that this thing was pushing an 82. So yeah, if we can go from 60 to 80, ooh, that could be nice, right? I hope you see it before I say it, but this is our money line right here, right? I guess this is. I think I'd rather be around here. 114, let's call it 115 if you want. Maybe even if you want, you can call it 117. I think between that 114 and 117 range is kind of our money range, right? And just give your risk reward. But if we can break this 100 moving average, look how high up the 200 moving averages. We're talking about basically going from $1 to $1.60. That's a 60% move right there, right? That's easy math right there, give or take. So I would love it if this thing broke the 100. Just please don't underestimate that 100 moving average line, right? We literally have not touched it since around right here. I don't think the wick touched it, right? Yeah, look, it's close, but I see a little bit of black between the top of the wick and the blue line, right? So it's been a while since we've touched the line, let alone gotten over it, right? But I can't stress enough, I like this setup. It seems like we're getting over these three. It really seems like the 50 was the bigger battle, and maybe the momentum of breaking the 50 can actually get us over that 100 just because it's so close right there, all right? Let's come into the weekly. And again, I think this weekly is emphasizing what I'm seeing on the daily. Again, today's Monday. We still got 4 full days before the candle closes, right? But it looks like we are getting over the 20. It looks like the spacing between the 20 and the 50 is just as good as between the 100 and the 200 on the daily. It seems like there's a good amount of red to green that could hit. Maybe we'll struggle a little bit at 125, but hey, even going from around here to 125 ain't that bad a move. And really, the daily is actually, I guess the daily's kind of saying the same thing. Daily has that 125 right there. I'm not going to draw that line, though. I don't think it's loud enough to draw, but yeah, 125, 160, I think that's the 1-2 up. I for sure would start to get scared, I think here. If you lose 90 cents on Mavis, I would get scared because please don't forget there is a lot of fast up and down back here, and it could be a scary 33% fall down if we lose that 90 cent and drop all the way to 60-ish, right? So but again, like in the setup, watch the 100, make sure we've broken the 50. Give me some nice confirmation tomorrow, all right? I think confirmation would actually be around that 118 range. I would actually be okay with just 114-ish, but from there it's going to be about confirming the 100 moving average from right. So you'd need another candle after that. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, I appreciate you so much.